was at uni and I got a text message from one of my friends who was watching, and she told me there was going to be a temple in Auckland, so I started freaking out. I was nearly crying, and my uni friends asked what was happening. So I told them, and they started texting all their friends who they knew were members of the church to let them know, because they were excited for us as well.
I was in the middle of class and I was on my phone. I get this text from my mum being like, we're getting a temple in Auckland, and I was just like, shivers, and then I kind of was just like, ah!
My first feeling was just joy. I felt a sense of peace about it, and I didn't know what to think. I was just so excited.
One of my favourite parts was watching the video of President Nelson saying Auckland, New Zealand, and someone from the crowd yelling out. I know that definitely would have been my reaction, and I would have been trying to be reverent, but wouldn't have been able to hold it in.
Very, very surprised, but also very, very happy.
When he said Auckland, New Zealand, something inside me just screamed out. Obviously I couldn't because I was at work, but I was just so rejoiced. I was definitely lost for words.
I watched it and he announced the temple in Auckland, and I just started sobbing, and it was just because I felt the spirit so strongly. I felt like it was meant to be, that we were meant to have a temple here in Auckland.
It was really special. I kind of felt this kind of like warmth come over me, and I'm quite new to the church, and I've never actually had the opportunity to visit a temple, so it's really special and empowering to me to have like a temple in my own home, my city where I grew up.
I started to think about it, and I just felt a lot of gratitude to be in this part of the world and to see the gospel spreading. And I actually got down on my knees and I thanked Heavenly Father for that, because I'm just grateful that there's a temple.
I am just feeling so blessed that Heavenly Father loves us so much. He's giving us a temple, and I can't wait.
It's a huge blessing, especially for those that struggle with getting money, and especially getting time off work to go down and to do that sacred work in the temple. It's a great blessing to not only have the temple within their sights for those that are active, but also for those that are that may be struggling with activity in the church. Now with the temple within their sights, now that it's physically close to them, they can also feel like it's spiritually within their reach as well.
Just to hear the stories from my parents, my grandparents, of how the church has grown here in Auckland. It's something that I feel is very deserving, but is very inspired for the brethren, for the prophet to declare. And I'm super happy that we'll have a temple just here locally to attend.
There's no excuses to not go to the temple now. It'll be super close by, so it means that we won't have to make a day trip anymore, and we'll be able to go as often as we like.
We're excited, but it's also time to get to work. It's time to be more diligent in our family history work, to make sure we're trying our hardest to do our best to keep our temple recommends, to get our temple recommends, and just to do the Lord's work.
Just having the Auckland temple as well is just going to be a major blessing for a lot of the saints.